after that injury, things got better, as I said in that last video. And for the rest of the time in the infantry basic training cycle, I don't remember having any particular problems. Certainly the cadre didn't pick on me. And in fact, I kind of got the impression that they were amazed that I was able to come back and work through the pain and do the job. I felt some respect from them. And I like that, of course. And I appreciate it. If any of you guys are still around and see this, thank you, cadre. You stayed on base. I don't remember just how long it was, but it was quite a while before you would be allowed to go off base. I think they were afraid a lot of us would be so spoiled and not committed enough that if they let us out, we might run. Didn't bother me to stay on base. I meant to save that $75 a month. But to marry that girl, I went to a movie once in a while, paid a dime, but I wouldn't even go spend a dime most evenings to go to a movie because saving that money. Was a tightwad then? Guess I'm still a tightwad. I do remember somewhere along the line, and I don't know if it was a special deal or if it was after it was all right if you wanted to, if you had some free time, you could catch a bus or a truck and go into town. But a church, maybe it was a military appreciation week or something, invited us to, some of us to come in and go to church, and then we would be invited to go out with a family for a meal. Chance to see the real world was still out there, you know. Kind of a good thing to see. The particular family that I was assigned to, don't think you were chosen, included a couple of kids and one of them a young lady, and I don't think that they were looking for a mate or a date or anything. I don't remember any Mickey Mouse or any flirtation there at all. Had a nice meal. Spent some time afterwards. I don't remember if we watched something like a movie. I don't really know, but we did something. At the time slipped by in the middle of the afternoon. There was a pickup point arranged, and so the father loaded me into the car, and I thanked him, and he said, "You're welcome," and all that sort of thing. It was very nice. And I certainly had a good meal. Oh man, it was great to have real food. Real food! Whew. You bet I thanked that mother for that fine meal. Anyway, he took me back down. I don't remember if it was a bus or a truck. Got on something and got back out on base. You know, I really don't remember much about Anniston, but what I do remember is that the cadre and a lot of my fellow trainees, they badmouth Anniston, Alabama, something fierce. And you know, I think the real thing was, it wasn't home. It wasn't home. Didn't get mom's cooking, didn't get to sleep in your bed, and so on. My impression was that Anniston is a very nice community. I thought that church deal where they invited us to come and then go out and be in the real world, the civilian world a little bit, indicates a heck of a lot of good things about Anniston, Alabama. So to me, Anniston, Alabama is a very nice place, although I remember very little about it. I just wasn't in town more than 2 or 3 times. What I do remember was heat, 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 humidity, 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 and no wind. Dadgum, when they worked you hard during the day, it was not pleasant. I also remember that when they took us on night marches, still hot, didn't sweat as much, a lot of difference, heat and humidity and no sun. But when you got in, what I do remember is there was coffee, and you were lucky if there was water. There darn well wasn't any milk or Kool-Aid or anything like that. It was mostly coffee. I may have drank coffee as a little tiny kid on my uncle's knee out there in the Oklahoma Panhandle, but that coffee, I took one sip and said, yuck, I'm not drinking that. So water, which undoubtedly was better for me anyway. I'm sure that at the end of the training cycle, the end of basic, that there was a parade. I remember the parade quite well, that I'll deal with later when I graduated from jump school, but danged if I can remember the one at the graduation ceremony there in Anniston at Fort McClellan at all. But I know that's the tradition, so undoubtedly there was. And then afterwards you're called into formation, orders are read off, and of course I knew what mine were going to read, and there was another 4 or 5 that read the same. You boys are to report to certain train, certain time, and you're going to go to Fort Benning, Georgia for jump school at Columbus, Georgia.